Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video, and today going to be talking about why Tammy Abraham can become as good as Harry Kane in the future. But before we get into any of that, I want to ask you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, because it helps out the videos as well. But it's a massive statement, isn't it? As a massive question. You know, Harry Kane, even though he has had injury problems recently, he still is one of the best strikers in world football. Even with the rivalry between Chelsea and Tottenham, I think we can all regard Harry Kane and respect what Harry Kane has done and the level he's got to. And it's a natural comparison, as we're going to get into with Tammy Abraham, both English strikers, both getting chances at some of the Premier League's biggest clubs. And what I want to go into today is how some of the stats show that Tammy can become as good as Kane in the future. And it all comes from an article from Liam Toomey in The Athletic. As you can see here, stats show he's more clinical than Kane, so how good can Tammy Abraham be? Now, Liam Toomey is a great writer. He's one of the best for Chelsea articles and pieces. I definitely suggest you go and read this article, as well as a lot of other articles he's written for The Athletic this season. Tammy Abraham is the only one of Frank Lampard's homegrown core not to agree a new long-term contract at Chelsea this season, and a pandemic shutdown has only added to the sense of limbo. But as they consider how much they value him in their future plans, Chelsea must settle on an answer to a more fundamental question: how good can Tammy Abraham become? He has been the only reliable goal scorer in a squad regularly lacking a cutting edge, finding the net on an average of 149.5 minutes in the Premier League. And this is a very interesting comparison in regards to one of Chelsea's best strikers in recent memory. If he started all 9 of Chelsea's remaining matches and continued to score at the same rate, he would finish with 18 league goals, a tally surpassed only by Diego Costa, twice with 20 in the club's previous 9 seasons. That shows you the level of comparison we're making here. Diego Costa was one of the best strikers I've ever seen play for Chelsea, one of my favourite players, a world-class player, absolutely clinical at his best. And if Tammy can replicate that, you know, not even surpass that, but replicate that for a number of seasons, that's going to be amazing for Chelsea and is really going to transform Chelsea's game, because we have lacked it since Costa walked out the door. And then Liam points out some of Tammy's best moments of the season: the stunning hat-trick against Wolves, the winner against Arsenal, and so many other moments and so many other big goals he scored this season, which really has surpassed expectation. You know, in the summer, I thought that 15 goals would be a brilliant tally for his first season, and I remember even then people doubting that. People thought he wasn't good enough for Chelsea and wouldn't be able to compete at this level, but I think he's proved very much so that he can, and he can improve in the Premier League level for Chelsea. But then Liam does touch on some of the negative sides and some of the frustrations of Tammy Abraham's first season playing for Chelsea. Abraham has had 24 big chances as defined by Opta in the Premier League this season and missed 17 of them. Though some of the very best goal scorers miss a lot, but his big chance conversion rate of 29.2% is comfortably the lowest of any of the 10 highest scorers in the competition in 2019-20. And we have seen Tammy Abraham miss a lot of chances this season. It has been a problem in his game, I think, more in recent times before he got that injury, which took him out of the first team. I remember the Leicester game in particular. He missed quite a few chances, some brilliant balls in from Reece James that he missed, and the anticipation within his game to get onto crosses is something he needs to improve on. But what Liam points out is, when you're just looking at those big chance stats and you're looking at sort of his conversion rate, it really doesn't give you the full story. And in comparison, one of the most reliable measures of how consistently threatening strikers are is shot attempts excluding blocks per 90 minutes, and on that front, Abraham looks good. His average has increased from 2.5 while on loan at Aston Villa last season to 2.8, putting him level with Salah and Rashford. Abraham's expected goals per 90 minutes also marks him out as one of the most consistently dangerous strikers in the Premier League this season, once penalties are excluded. And then we have the comparison to Harry Kane, and sort of looking at the trajectory of Harry Kane at Tottenham and how he broke into the first team. And it's interesting, you know, with Harry Kane and Tammy Abraham, both sort of unique circumstances helped them get that chance. They still had to take their chance, but Harry Kane under Tim Sherwood was willing to give young players chance, and then Pochettino followed that up by giving more chances to Harry Kane, and then we know where he is now. And Tammy Abraham, of course, the transfer ban with Chelsea, and then Frank Lampard putting his trust in Tammy Abraham to get that chance. And in comparison to where Tammy Abraham is now at the age of 22 to where Kane was, Kane won the Premier League Golden Boot for the first time with 25 goals in the 15-16 season. Though, as you can see here, The Athletic putting together this brilliant graph about comparing Tammy Abraham to Kane at the same age in 15-16. Kane may have scored almost double the number of goals in 15-16 that Abraham has managed this season, but he has also played a lot more games. Their average for goals per 90 minutes are much closer: 0.7 for Kane, 0.6 for Abraham. 5 of Kane's goals also came from the penalty spot, and when these are excluded, the comparison of the numbers gets very interesting. Abraham expected goals per 90 minute of 0.57 is actually better than Kane's 0.48 with penalties excluded, despite the Tottenham man averaging more shot attempts excluding blocks per 90 minutes. And that is a big question, and it's the big question I pose in today's video. Now, there's a lot that has to go right for Abraham to match Harry Kane. The most impressive thing about Harry Kane was when he broke through and had those incredible seasons early on in his career. It was the consistency of doing that over a number of years, and that's what Abraham is going to have to do. He's not only going to have to improve his goal tally to up to 20 and beyond, it's also doing it for a number of years, season in, season out, being consistent. And I think personally for me, I was talking about this on a stream I did with Ms. Rahman, who I had on the channel recently, about Abraham and breaking down his season, was I think he needs to spread out his goals a bit more. We did see about a period of games in September, sort of late August, September, where he scored about 7 goals very quickly and then went a little bit without scoring again. And I think hopefully as experience, as more game time comes to him at Chelsea, he'll sort of hopefully spread those goals out, and hopefully during sort of difficult periods, he'll be a player we can rely on. When you actually break it down, it looks really encouraging for Abraham, and hopefully if Abraham is in a better, more productive Chelsea team next season, hopefully he will get more chances and hopefully will take more of them and increase his goal tally next season under Frank Lampard. As what I think Liam Toomey does really well is goes into smaller elements of his game that I think sometimes gets underrated, especially for strikers at top clubs like Chelsea. Hold up play, link up play, these are things, winning fouls. I think these are things that are underrated by fans, and I think shows you why Abraham has that capability. You know, Diego Costa was a brilliant player to hold up the ball like Didier Drogba was. It wasn't just about scoring goals, it was about linking up with fellow players. And you know, at times Michy Batshuayi is a very good goal scorer if you get him into the right position, but the unfortunate thing for Batshuayi is where I think he falls behind Abraham, you can't really hit the ball up to him and know it's going to stick as well. Tammy, we know he can do that. He can win fouls, he can alleviate pressure, and that pace and agility of his game is so important for a pacey game that Lampard wants to instill at Chelsea. The best moment for me for Tammy Abraham this season was that goal against Wolves, the third of his hat-trick, where he shrugged off Conor Coady, basically created a goal for himself, and that was the sign for me of a world-class striker. He's not world-class yet, don't get me wrong, he's got a long way to go to get there, but I think what you saw there was a player with raw ability that can make goals for himself, and that is so big at a club like Chelsea when you're not going to have as much space as other teams. Teams are going to sit deep, really try and mark Abraham out of a game, and if he can get better and do that more consistently, he's going to be an incredible player for Chelsea. He truly is. So that is the video. Now I pass it over to you guys for your opinions in the comments about this topic. Do you think Tammy Abraham can become as good, as clinical, and even maybe a little bit better in the future than Harry Kane? Please let me know in the comments below. Really interested to hear your thoughts. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter at Son of Chelsea, and I'll see you again.